All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. I want you to imagine a scenario with me for a second. Picture this. You've just landed the absolute, undeniable, ultimate promotion of your career. You're now the security director for a sprawling, incredibly exclusive 14-acre private island compound, hidden away somewhere in the South Pacific. I mean, it sounds like an absolute dream, right? You've officially reached the pinnacle of the security world, rubbing shoulders with the kind of extreme wealth most people can't even fathom. But, as we're about to see, building this golden cage comes with a really profound psychological cost.
Right off the bat, you are dropped into a world of just incomprehensible luxury. To give you a sense of the sheer scale here, we're talking about a massive multi-level yacht anchored offshore that has its own dedicated submarine bay. There's a full medical facility right on the island. You're living in a master suite that honestly makes a 5-star luxury penthouse look like a cramped corporate cubicle. And your salary? It's massive. But in the grand scheme of things, that massive salary of yours is essentially just a tiny rounding error on your boss's trillion-dollar portfolio.
But here's where things start to get a little wild. As you sit there, tucked behind your 7 glowing monitors in your master suite watching the news ticker go by, a pretty chilling realization sets in. You look out at the elite 12-man armed detail, the very detail that you personally hired to patrol the grounds, and you realize, wait a minute, this heavily armed squad isn't just out there to protect the boss from the outside world. No, they're actually there to protect the boss's secrets from you.
So how exactly do you end up in this situation? Well, to understand that, we're going to climb the ladder of elite private security. We'll start with the ultimate promotion, then move into Level 1, the furniture. Level 2, the tax. Level 3, ghost logistics. Level 4, the consigliere. And finally, what happens when you become the expensive loose end?
Starting off with the ultimate promotion, selling your discipline. You know, this whole crazy journey usually just starts with boredom. Picture a highly talented ex-military operator on a rainy Tuesday who suddenly realizes that a legitimate government pension is just this slow, painful crawl toward a mundane life they simply do not want. In that moment, something clicks. You realize that in our modern world, safety and information, they're really just ones and zeros. They are commodities that can be manipulated and controlled. So you make a choice. You decide to sell your intense military discipline to the absolute highest bidder, and you begin the steep, ruthless climb up this 4-step underworld ladder. Which brings us to Level 1, the furniture. At this entry level, you are essentially treated as furniture by the elite. You definitely don't start at the top, you start at the iron gates. Your one and only job is to stand there 14 hours a day, making absolutely sure the paparazzi never even catch a passing glimpse of the main house. You have to be completely invisible. You're basically an invisible gopher fetching coffee for the senior operators, taking all of the physical risk for almost none of the real reward. And they're constantly testing you, watching to see if you can actually keep your mouth shut. The stakes are incredibly high right from day one. If a tabloid somehow manages to run a leaked story, you are the very first one escorted off that property with your stuff in a cardboard box while the bosses stay perfectly safe behind their bulletproof glass.
Now, if you survive that, you hit Level 2, the tax.
Okay, so you kept your mouth shut, you survived Level 1, and you proved your hands are steady. You've officially passed the ethics test. Now, you get pulled into a highly trained 12-operator minimum detail, and you're working these grueling, rotating 24-hour shifts that are typically reserved for sitting presidents. You're finally earning real money now. But, as with everything in this shadow world, there's a catch. It's an unspoken rule known as the tax. This means you are absolutely obligated to kick up a portion of your bonus to the security director who recruited you. It's a whole system built entirely on absolute fealty.
In this internal politics game, it's strict. We're talking almost mob-level strict. If you try to hide even a tiny rounding error of that cash from your superiors, it is viewed as stealing directly from the family. And let me tell you, in the elite private security business, thieves don't just get a slap on the wrist or fired, they get reformatted. The severe consequences are what keep everybody completely in line.
Moving right along, we enter Level 3, Ghost Logistics.
This is where your career takes a massive pivot. You're no longer standing at a gate or pulling triggers. Instead, you have to master the dark art of accounting gymnastics. Your days are suddenly spent managing these complex webs of front companies that secretly buy all the security hardware. You're setting up, say, 8 different LLCs in corporate havens like Wyoming and Delaware. And these aren't real businesses, they're just empty shell boxes specifically designed to make the security gear dance across borders.
You zip funds rapidly from Cyprus over to Panama, washing the money so thoroughly that the hardware itself becomes entirely untraceable. You're doing all this manipulation until a massive, state-of-the-art $200 million security system becomes a total ghost. I mean, it effectively doesn't exist on paper. It's totally invisible to any government trace, any financial audit, you name it. You have basically built a fortress that officially isn't even there.
And that leads us to the top. Level 4, the consigliere.
You've made it. You are at the top of the mountain, managing a massive staff of 63 people across this 14-acre compound. You're overseeing everything from executive chefs to high-level IT crews to the housekeepers. You're definitely not just a guard anymore. You are the consigliere. You have the boss's ear. In fact, you're literally the only person on the face of the earth allowed to look a trillionaire in the eye and tell him he's being paranoid. But more importantly, you are the ultimate cleaner of secrets. If, say, Linda the housekeeper accidentally takes a photo of the boss on her smartphone, you're the one who meticulously hunts down the metadata and expertly handles her permanent disappearing act from the property.
But here is the dark climax of all this, becoming the expensive loose end.
So you've reached the absolute peak of the ladder. You have everything you ever wanted. But the price of holding on to this immense power? It's absolute, terrifying isolation. By building this perfect, completely untouchable life for a trillionaire, you've basically built a psychological cage for yourself. You completely sacrifice your free will. Every single morning, you're meticulously checking your own car for hidden trackers. When you go out, you never ever sit with your back to the door. You quickly realize you can't even have friends anymore, because in this hyper-paranoid world, a friend is nothing more than a weakness that a rival can lean on to get to you. You have effectively erased your own identity just to protect someone else's.
And here's the ultimate irony. Despite all this power you've accumulated, you have actually become the ultimate liability to your boss. Why? Because you are now the very, very expensive loose end. You are the single, solitary person on Earth who knows exactly where every digital body is buried and exactly where every secret settlement is hidden. In the end, it hits you that you don't really have free will anymore. Think about this for a second. It's 3 a.m. You're standing completely alone in this massive, empty 60-seat home theater on the compound. The only sound in the room is the faint mechanical hum of a security camera mounted on the ceiling. It stops when you stop, it follows when you move, it's tracking your every single movement. Despite your millions in the bank, you are now just a number being moved to a different column on someone else's spreadsheet. So, if you're as fascinated by the dark psychology and the hidden costs of extreme wealth as we are, and you want to learn more about these golden cages constructed by the global elite, make sure to hit that subscribe button for Iron Gammon and turn on your notifications. In this Explainer series, we take weekly deep dives into these crazy shadow identities that, honestly, you'd probably never want to actually live out yourself. But before we wrap up this explainer, I really want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know if you successfully climbed that ruthless ladder and became the director of a private island, what is the very first rounding error luxury you'd buy for yourself? Think about it, and I'll see you all in the next simulation.